We are about to build an awesome asteroid game. And obviously you are this cool ship. There is a score. This is a super duper beginner, perfect beginner project in Stencyl. So let's go ahead and get started with our game. That's the end result. I'm going to go ahead and X that though. And we're going to create new blank game next. I'm, well, going to call mine Asteroid because it's an asteroid game. I am going to leave these settings default, so that's all great. Create. Okay. And here we are. First off, we're going to make a scene, so no scenes. And you always want to name your scenes as levels. It helps with organization as you progress in your game making. All right. Create new. Yep. Create. And perfect. We have a blank scene. That's good to go. I'm headed over now to, I clicked on dashboard, I'm headed to actor types. The actor types, the images, the assets I'm about to use are going to be linked in the description. The pictures and all of that if you would like to use them. So this game contains no actor types. Well, now it does. And our first actor is going to be our ship. So I just typed in the word ship. This actor contains no animation. All right, I'll click on this. And finally, I can add a frame. Okay, so keep in mind this 4, 3, 2, 1. This 4 means divide my image by 4. So make it 1/4 the size it originally is. For my spaceship, if you're using what I am, this image is fine because it's bigger. So I do want it to be 1/4 the size. And that's weird library. Nope, this PC. Downloads. Here we are. And we are going with our ship. Open. Great, add, and there it is. So I'm going to now actually hit add to scene. I'm going to select my scene and click OK. All right, now just to help me organize this, I am going to use the magnet and the graph. So it kind of clicks it to a particular spot in the game. It makes the game a little bit more clean. It's easier to design. So there we go. You only want one of those. I'm going to hit select again, and I'm headed back to dashboard. Great, so we have the ship added. Let me click here again. I'm in actor types, and I'm going to add our asteroid. Create. And we need an animation, so this actor type. Click here to add a frame. Okay, and I think for leaving the scale at 1/4 the size is fine. We'll find out. Asteroid. Open. Looks good to me. Add. And add to scene. Level 1 again. Okay. And yeah, that looks alright. And I'm going to put it here. And for now, I'm just going to have 2. Just to kind of start the game out. Great. 2 asteroids added. Back to dashboard. Now I want to click here. Right, so I'm in actor types. I'm clicking again. What I'm adding next is actually going to be our laser because it will be an actor type. Create. Actor type contains no animation. Click here to add a frame. Great. Now for my image for my laser, choose image. Again, all of these assets are going to be linked in the description. I'm actually going to do something a bit different in that I'm going to use, I had it set at 1/4 the size and I'm adding it. Now I'm going to hit add frame again. I'm going to set it to 1/3 the size, which will be slightly larger because it's only dividing it by 3 instead of 4. And this way it will look like the laser pulses. You can kind of see it there as it moves through the game. All right, so I'm going to hit add scene, level 1, okay, add to scene. And I'm going to put it right here because we want it under our spaceship. Oh, that being said, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go back to this ship, and now I'm going to hit add to scene because I want to make sure my spaceship is over the laser. Awesome. All right, so we have one more actor type we need to add. Dashboard. Click here to create an actor type. Name. It's just the edge of the game. Edge. Create. Add. Add animation. This one we do it 1 at 1 times. Okay, so 1 time scale, choose image, edge, open, and add. Add to scene, Level 1, okay. And way up here, click. And then way down here, click. Those will be, well, our edges. Let's see. I'm going to just, whoop. I want it to go down to something like that. Okay, there we are. I just wanted to cover the edge. Perfect. So it looks like we have all this set up. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now it's time to start adding code. So the first code I'm going to be adding is I'm going to click on the ship. If you closed it, you go to dashboard, double click on the ship, and it will take you back. I'm going to go to events, and in events, I want to be able to move the ship. It is our player. So I'm going to click add event, basics, and then when updating. When updating, it runs 30 times a second. It's constant. So when updating, and what I want to do is I'm going to use the W and S key to go up and down, and the spacebar to shoot. So I'm going to go ahead and go to settings here, and in settings, when I click on settings, I'm going to click on control, and now that I'm in control, I need to add, because they don't have the option of W and S keys, so we're going to click to add that key. I'm just going to call it creatively W, click on the letter A, hit W. I'm going to go ahead and do S now, click on the letter A, and do S. We don't need this quite yet for space, but I'll go ahead and add it. I'm going to click, write the word space, click on A, hit the space key. So now I have W, S, and space, just like that. Perfect. Okay? And now in my when updating of my ship, I know I need an if and an otherwise if. Okay? Because if something is happening, if the W key is pressed, so if user input, control is down. Okay? We don't want control though. Click. If W is down, and then you can also just, there's two ways to get to that. If I go over here to user input, I could grab the block from here too and drop it in. So if W is down, I want to go up. If S is down, I want my character to go down. So let's go over to actors over here. And I don't want this one, I want motion, because we're moving up and down. Okay, I hit motion, and now what do we want to do? We want to set the speed of our actor. I'm going to actually put one way up here at the top, one here, and one here. Now, up and down means we want the Y speed, okay? We're going to default to 0, because that means the second the person lifts their finger off the key, the speed goes back to 0. Right? But so it runs 30 times a second. The computer says, okay, the new speed's 0. Oh, wait, they're holding down W, so the speed will be negative 15. Right? So 0 will only happen if nothing's being held down, but it is default no matter what. Right? I say negative because just kind of like Scratch, Stencyl is odd in that if you subtract from Y, you go up. If you add to Y, you go down. So W is going to send us up, so I need to subtract. And S is going to be our down, so I need to add. Okay, so their speed's going to be set to 15 then. All right, that's looking good for our ship. I'm going to hit save. Okay, now let's head over to Asteroid actually next. In Asteroid, I want to head to events. In the events for the Asteroid, all I need is the space key to work. I need the space key to make it go forward. So I'm going add event, when updating, okay? And then if, and user input, control. But we don't want control. We want if the space key is down, actor, motions, X. So if the space key is down, the X speed, let's have our X speed be 15. So if the user hits space, boom, that laser gets shot off. Okay? And for the asteroids, let's have asteroid events. Now for them, we're going to do add event basic. We can do when creating, when drawing. It's kind of, let's do when created. So when that asteroid is created, we want to make them move. So I'm going to actor, motion, X speed, and it needs to be a negative X speed because it's going to be going left to right. So let's say negative 15 to start off. All right, and that should be the basics of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the physics because they're critical. On the ship, notice I'm in ship. I'm going to physics. In the physics of the ship, we do need cannot be pushed. You don't want it to be able to rotate either. Cannot be pushed, no rotation. I'm then going to material, and we don't want any friction. We don't want it to slow stuff down. Okay? Now let's go on to asteroid and physics. All right, so for the physics of this, we just want to change normal is fine. We don't want it to be able to rotate. And then for material, we also want to get rid of the friction. And now we're headed to laser and physics. And for laser, we want no to rotation and it can't be pushed. Also, material, no to friction again. And finally, edge and physics. And the edge is the edge, so it cannot move. Zero friction. And save. Perfect. All right. So we have some base level stuff now. If you want to hit test game, we should be able to at least move our ship. Rah, rah. And right now the laser's not following the ship. We will take care of that later. Yep, looks great. That's what it should look like. So now we're actually going to start adding code to the level itself. That means I'm going to level 1, and if you closed it, you would just go down to scenes, double click, and I'm headed to events, just like that. All right, so now that I'm in level 1, I'm going to go ahead and hit add event, basics, and I'm going to do a win updating. Okay. What's going to occur in this one is, well, a few things. We're going to have the respawn for our asteroids. So let's start there. So I'm going to add an if and an if, and then we're actually going to have our laser respawn as well. So we need 3 if statements. Okay. Now that I have those, I'm going to head over to numbers, and I want to know if the laser is off the screen or if the asteroid's off the screen, because I want them to respawn if they are, so they can head towards the user again. So flow actually, not numbers. I need a less than, and a less than, and a wait for it, less than symbol. Okay? All right, now that I have those, I'm going to go over to actor. I'm going to go to X of actor once, twice, and 3. And then for the asteroids, so this is going to be choose actor, asteroid, choose actor, asteroid 3, right? The top asteroid and the bottom. If the asteroids are less than 0, if their X value is less than 0, that means they're way over here off the screen. So if the asteroids are less than 0, we're going to reset them. And if the laser's value, I get it? Nope. There we are. If the laser's value is not shut off. So what this is going to do is make sure the laser is following the ship. So if the laser's value is less than 100, that means if their X value of the laser is less than 100, that means it hasn't been shot yet, right? Because it starts at, you see the X and Y in the right corner? Whoops. So the value of the laser is going to start at roughly less than 100. You know what? I'm just going to move it back. What if we have everything back? There we are. Now we'll just keep it at 100. All right. So if the laser's value is less than 100, I'm going to have it be following the ship. So if the laser's value, I need a set. I'm going to need another set and another set. Okay. So if the laser's X value is less than 100, I want the laser's Y value, because if it's less than 100, that means the laser has not been shot. So I want its y value to be equal to that of the spaceship's y value. I know though that the laser is a bit smaller, so if it's equal to the y value of the spaceship, it will be sitting on top of the spaceship and visible. So I'm going to say it's going to be equal to the y value. I'm going to go over to actors of the spaceship, but I'm going to try adding like 45 to it, 45 pixels. That should move it down some. So I want it equal. So if the spaceship, if the x value of the laser is less than 100, that means it hasn't been shot. Well, if it's less than 100, we want its y value to be going up and down with the ship, so the ship continues to sit on top of the laser and we can't see it. All right, and we're going to add 45 because the laser's smaller, and so if we just leave it at the ship's y value, it would sit on top of the ship. Okay, and then I need to choose the laser. And I missed. Okay, let's try. Take a look here. My goodness. Now I'm gonna go back and, okay, save all this. All right, and oops, level events. Okay, so if the x value of the laser is less than 100, we want the y value. That's looking good to me. Okay, and now down here, we want to set, for these, for our asteroids, we're gonna want to set not just the location, right? Once the asteroid's less than 0, x value, it respawns way over here on the other side of the screen. But then we want to change up the speed of it too. So I clicked on motion, and I'm clicking on set x speed, okay? And of what? Asteroid 2, I believe. What speed? Asteroid 2 speed. What actor? Asteroid 3. What actor? Oops, I missed. Asteroid 3. For X location, I found 600 to be good. So I'm going to set it to 600. So that respawns it. And then for the speed, to give it some variables, or some variants, I'm going to go to numbers and text. And then I'm looking for random integer. So we're going to randomize the speed each time it resets. And I think I did, you can do what you want, but I think I did 12 or maybe 15 to 20. And I don't know, maybe I'll do 15 to 22. This one will be a bit faster at times. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and save again. Next up, we're going to be creating the interaction when the laser hits an asteroid. So I need to do new, and then I'm going to collision, specific actor, and when actor, choose the actor, when the laser, choose the actor, hits asteroid 2, what do we want to have happen? Well, when the laser hits it, we want stuff to respawn. So I'm going to go over to actors. So if the laser hits it, I'm going to need to reset the laser and reset the asteroid. So it looks like the asteroid blew up and the laser is gone because it made an impact. I'm then going to need to set the speed of both of those. Oh, I just got that one. So I will just put speed. I also need to do end position. I'm going to set the position of both of them and the speed of both of them. So set the act of, we want the laser's x value to be equal to that of our ships. So I'm going to just do set the x value to the x value of the ship. For the laser, okay? And then for the asteroid, we need to set the x value to 600 like we did earlier, because we're going to have it respawn. If a laser hit it, it needs to respawn on the other side of the screen. Actor 2, yep. And then what speed? Well, the x speed for the laser needs to be set to 0 now, because it made an impact and it's now hiding behind the ship again. But the x speed for our asteroid, I am again going to randomize number and text. Okay, number and text, random integer, and I'll do 15 to 20. That is looking good. All right. Something we do want to add is we want to create a scoring element on impact. So when the laser hits the asteroid, I want to keep score. To do that, I'm going to go way over here and click on Game Attributes. All right, I've clicked on Game Attributes, Create New Attribute. Click. I'm just going to type the word score and number. Yep, that's the type it is. I want to set it at 0 at first. Okay. And it pops up here. All right. So each time there's an impact, we want to add a point to score. So I'm now under Game Attributes going to click on Setters, Set Score to, and drop it here. Set Score to, well, I want it equal to, I'm going to Numbers, I'm going to set the score, drag that in, equal to, I dragged in a plus sign, going back to Game Attributes, I know it's a bunch of steps, going back to Getters, okay? So I set the score equal to the score plus 1. And that means that our score is now equal to whatever it used to be equal to, but it adds 1 to it. So our score ticks up as we shoot asteroids. Ooh, make sure you see this, your actor speed, you need it to be negative because our asteroids are heading to the left. Make sure you do that, and let's check when updating. Did I do it? Yeah. So I need these to be negative too, because our asteroid's going to be heading to the left. So that would be negative on the x-axis for their speed. Okay, that's better. Glad I caught that. Now I'm going to right-click on this, or hit Command, hold down the Command key and click on a Mac, right-click and click Duplicate. So I'm going to right-click and click Duplicate, and I don't want these to be named the same thing, so I'm going to rename this to, whoops, Top Asteroid, and then I'm going to rename this to Bottom Asteroid. And then the only thing I have to switch up in this is going to be where it says Asteroid 2, right? I don't want that. I want Asteroid 3. I don't want that. I want Asteroid 3. So that is looking good. And so what we want to do now is we're going to add an event for the laser. And we're going to go down here to Actors, and we want Enters or Leaves Screen. All right, so that's what I want. And who do I want? The actor? Our laser. So again, I did Add Event, Actors, Specific Actor, Enters or Leaves. All right. We want exits the screen. So when our laser exits the screen, going over here to Actors, once it's gone off the screen, we want to hide it again, reset it under our spaceship. So I'm going to do a set, and then I also am going to need a set speed. Okay. And what's the X value going to be? Well, it's going to be just like we have been doing. It's going to be equal to that of the spaceship. Wherever the X value of the spaceship is, that's what I want. So, oops, grab the wrong thing there. X value of the spaceship. So when the laser leaves the screen, we're going to reset it to the X value of the spaceship, and we want to reset its speed to 0 so it's no longer moving. Great. All right, and I want a game over screen. So what we're going to do now is add event, and it's going to be a collision, but instead of specific actor, this is going to be actor type. So when any actor collides with actor type, what's the actor? Choose actor. When our spaceship collides with an asteroid, so either of our two asteroids, when that happens, I'm actually just going to type in because it's easier for me. I'm going to look for the word pause. I'm going to pause the game. Boom. Because they've now lost. And then I'm going to make that screen kind of go shaky and nuts. Shake the screen for 3 seconds, and let's give 25% a try. Now let's add let's make sure the score gets drawn on the screen. We're just about there though. I'm going to hit add event. Oh, basics, when drawing is what we need. So when drawing, and I need draw text. which is here. Oops, I also need an if flow. If. Okay. So when drawing, draw text, drawing, draw text. And I'll explain why that's twice in a second. And I need to look for pause again. Yes, game is paused. Is going to go in our if. That's what we're going to check. So now draw text. What do I want to draw? I'm going to draw where we are in game attributes, my score. Okay. So I'm going to draw my score when drawing, and I'm going to put it at, I think I liked it at 2020. Now, when the game is paused, what do I want to have happen? Well, if the game is paused, that means they lost, right? Because we set it to pause if they lose. So I want game over text to be displayed, and I don't know, maybe at 250x, maybe 300x, and 250y. Not exactly sure where's the best spot for that, but we'll do something like this. All right, that's good. I'm going to hit save. All right, and I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and test out our game. I'm going to hit test game. Die asteroid. Ooh, I got a point. And you see how that point ticks up at the top? Another point. Rah! All right, let's see if I die. Whoa! And we have an awesome asteroid game. You should definitely try to add double shot to it or another asteroid of bonus points. If you do something cool, make sure to tell me about it in the comments below. If you're still watching this, you should hit like, you should hit subscribe. I super appreciate it. It makes me feel good. All of that awesome stuff. I'm going to go back to playing my asteroid game, though.